I never believed in second chances. Not until the night everything in my life broke, and somehow rebuilt itself in the same breath. My name is Ethan Miller, 33, born and raised in a small town in North Carolina, the kind of place where everyone knows your history better than you do. 2 years ago, I'd packed my bags and left town after my engagement fell apart. I moved to Chicago, convinced that big cities and constant noise would drown out the silence she left behind. It didn't, so when my father called me one cold November morning, telling me my mom had been admitted to the hospital with heart complications, I didn't think twice. I got in my truck and drove 12 hours home. I didn't know it then, but that drive would lead me straight into the most important night of my life. It was late, around 1:20 a.m. The town was quiet in that way only small American towns can be. A single gas station humming, an empty diner glowing like a forgotten lighthouse. I was crossing the old wooden bridge near Miller's Creek, the same bridge I used to fish from when I was 10. Fog hovered over the water, turning everything silver. And that's when I saw her. A woman standing alone at the center of the bridge, long hair blowing in the wind, hands resting on the railing. Still, too still. Something in my chest tightened. I pulled over, stepped out, and said softly, "Are you all right?" She didn't turn, just said, "I'm fine." Just thinking. Her voice, quiet but steady, pulled at something familiar inside me. But I couldn't place it. "It's cold," I said. "You shouldn't be out here alone." She finally turned, and for a moment, the world simply stopped. I knew her. Not from this town. Not from any memory. I knew her from something deeper, like a déjà vu that hits with the force of a lightning strike. She looked up at me, her blue eyes reflecting the moonlight. "You don't remember me, do you?" Her name was Emily Carter. 29. A traveling nurse. She had arrived in town only 3 days earlier to help at the hospital, the same hospital where my mother was staying. But that wasn't why she felt familiar. We spent nearly an hour walking along the bridge, talking like people who had known each other in another lifetime. She told me she had come to this town because she was escaping noise. I told her I came back because I couldn't outrun mine anymore. When she laughed, it was soft and cautious, like she wasn't used to being heard. She wasn't flirting. She wasn't trying to impress me. She was simply present, and somehow, that felt like the most intimate thing in the world. When I finally asked what she was thinking about when I first saw her, she looked away. "Losing someone," she whispered, and realizing I wasn't ready to let go. I understood too well. Before she left, she said, "Maybe we'll see each other again." I didn't believe her. Life never gives me things twice. But destiny had other plans. The next morning I arrived at the hospital. And there she was, Emily, standing at the nurse's station, her hair tied back, wearing a blue scrub top and a warm, too warm, smile. Her eyes widened when she saw me. "You're here. I told you my mom was admitted." "I didn't know she was your mother," she said softly. "I'm assigned to her floor." If the night on the bridge felt like destiny tapping on my shoulder, this moment felt like destiny grabbing me by the collar. Over the next week, I spent hours in those white hospital hallways, waiting, pacing, hoping, and Emily seemed to be everywhere. Sometimes she brought extra blankets. Sometimes she brought coffee. Sometimes she simply sat with me during long, quiet hours when my mother slept. We talked about everything: childhood, regrets, dreams we abandoned too early. And then one evening, she confessed. I wasn't on the bridge to think. I was on the bridge to say goodbye. To what? I asked. To the version of myself that keeps running. For the first time in years, I felt something shift inside me, too. Mom's health slowly stabilized, and one night I left the hospital later than usual. Emily was finishing her shift. "Walk with me?" she asked. We went back to the bridge. Same fog, same quiet, same sense that the world paused just for us. She leaned against the railing. "You know," she said, "I came here thinking I wouldn't stay long." "And now?" I asked. She looked at me with eyes that felt like home. "Now I'm not sure." A moment passed, then another, and then she whispered, "Ethan, I haven't felt safe with someone in years. But with you, it's different." My chest tightened, not with pain this time. With clarity. I stepped closer, gently brushing her cheek with my hand. "I didn't expect you," I said, "but I'm glad I found you." She didn't pull away. She didn't hesitate. Our first kiss was slow and uncertain. The kind of kiss you give when your heart remembers something your mind hasn't learned yet. Over the next week, something incredible happened. Emily stayed. I stayed. Mom recovered. And the house stopped feeling empty. Emily and I spent late evenings cooking in my childhood kitchen, dancing barefoot on old wooden floors, laughing at nothing. One night she said, "Do you ever wonder why we met twice? Once by chance, and once by purpose." I nodded. "Because sometimes," I said, "the universe tries again when we're not ready the first time." She smiled, and something inside me healed in that moment, quietly, completely. We still walk to that bridge. Not because we're lost, but because that's where we were finally found. Emily now works full-time at Miller's Creek Hospital. I help my dad manage the old family carpentry shop. And every night, before we turn off the lights, she whispers, "Thank you for stopping that night." And I tell her, "Thank you for letting me try again." Because love, real love, isn't about perfect timing. It's about second chances, and the courage to stay when everything in you once ran.